Jonas DeFess and with NOLAtrainer.com, and this is the final part of the 3-part interview with Lucy Bustamante, and she is going to share a little bit about what works for her and how she feels about lifting with weights versus cardio, and some of the misconceptions that women have when they work out. So check it out and let me know what you think. How do you feel like having the convenience of having healthy food around you when you get those cravings? And has that, if you would have a healthy food choice around you, like maybe a protein shake or something that's available to you?
That has, I think, saved women most often than not when they've had themselves with good choices. I think it's crucial, at least when you're first starting to remove the trigger foods from your pantry and your house, and even an opportunity to get it away from your kids. I mean, if it ruins your health goals, what do you think it's going to do to your children? So I think you have to remove all of those foods until you start getting into a place where you feel more disciplined. But yeah, it has saved me, But in the end, when you finally start to get into a rhythm, you are gonna opt for what's gonna make me feel better, what's gonna make my workout give me more energy, what's gonna produce a longer spout of concentration. So it your thinking about food in general changes.
Okay. So as far as when you're working out, do you like to work out like you mentioned you like to mix it up? You didn't do you mainly focused on cardio before, and now you're incorporating weights in your workout. Do you feel like there's a big difference between the two, or the way that it's affecting your body, or can you tell a difference?
I can in the sweat factor. I can run for a really long time because my body has just gotten used to it. I can run for 4 to 6 miles or 7, and I really won't feel the difference from 4 miles to 6 miles anymore. However, and it's a good thing because my heart rate is very low and very healthy in medical tests and things like that. But I think with weights, the strength factor is so important to just being able to, once again, control the shape of that size. So I'm learning more and more about it because there was just a lot of resistance to it in the beginning of, I don't want to bulk up, and I've seen friends do it before me, lose the fear first. They've done it and they didn't bulk up at all. And I actually did realize that when I did my first boot camp, that was the most fit I had ever been. And there was a drop in not just weight, but in percentage of fat to muscle. And I always thought that when they would say decrease fat, increase muscle, I always thought it was actually something physical and not so much a ratio.
Right.
And I don't think that that's explained well enough in just the scientific side of exercising. And with weights, that's the promise of it, the fact that you will be made up of less fat, and therefore you will have more muscle, but not necessarily get more muscle.
Right. So increase the tone of your muscle and kind of make it tighter without increasing the size. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. And I think at first it takes a while to understand that, because when you start to see, the changes in your body, but you're not necessarily seeing weight loss,
right,
I think that really freaks people out, especially when you're on plans that encourage, weighing yourself
right,
on the scale every week or every day even. So I think that it could feel a little counterintuitive at first.
right. So you can see how some people get confused, because you can actually weigh 100 pounds and have a high body fat percentage,
right,
as opposed to having that same body fat percentage of being like 200 pounds and still
right,
having that same body fat percentage.
Exactly. And I think the most important thing to realize, though, is that when it comes to actually losing weight, you truly just have to, in my world, to put it simply, you have to really cut the emotional eating out and burn more than you take in.
Great.
And when you make it that simple, then there's more power in it.
Right. So do you have any tips or strategies for women who are just at like a plateau right now and just looking for some kind of
magic pill, as they say, to push
Yeah.
themselves or to make it all happen. Do you believe in that?
I do, and I think it's a lack of insight, it's a lack of meditation, it's a lack of me time. I think when you feel that way, you really do have to treat your psychological side first, and you really have to go into the emotional scape first. What's making you feel that emptiness? What's making you feel like you're not there yet? You haven't arrived yet. And then after you make yourself feel mentally and emotionally better, then all of the right things will start happening physically. I think too many times we go backwards. And so I would say call your best buddy during that time, and
Support buddy, huh?
absolutely, absolutely.
So how do you feel about Michelle Obama's arms?
I love this question. I mean, her arms look beautiful, but I think you have to really see the person as a whole. And I think that you clothes is wonderful because you can wear things that make you look better. And her strong point is her arms to a lot of people. So that's why she wears a lot of sleeveless clothing.
Do you
So.
think that having her as the first lady is different, as far as you think there's going to be a different outlook on health and women's health now that we have a first lady that actually is very health conscious and works out a lot?
It depends on her message. It depends on how often she addresses it. And also people, the way that they react to politicians and the family of politicians is very congruent with how they, if they like them to begin with. If you don't like her because of the political views, then you may not get a lot out of her. If you do like her, then you're going to pay attention to what she has to say, and whether it's about her arms or about her mission as first lady. So we'll see what her message is. Hopefully it's it is positive, and whether people like her or not, they can get past that and actually take out the good parts of it.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing your opinion about this, and
My pleasure. It was fun.
great.
All right, so that's it. That's Lucy Bustamante on NOLAtrainer.com talking about diet and exercise, and I hope you enjoyed that. I sure did, and I got more interviews coming your way, so make sure you come back, get on my newsletter list, and that's it.